Good morning, everybody. Live from the desert, Las Vegas, Nevada, from French Cafe, because I can't see it any other way. Uh, I'm forcing myself to get some air, fresh air, after that super arduous 2 block walk yesterday. I didn't leave the house after that. That was it. Good morning, hey girl. So nice to see you. Yeah, I got a cappuccino coming. And we're going to talk about some important stuff that is, I want everyone to keep in the front of their mind going forward. Ugh. Yeah, I'm like probably 2/3 right now, I would say. Like, I'm like 2/3 better. I was probably at 1/3 yesterday. I don't even know if I should have tried that walk. But thank you, hey girl. Um, but yeah, it was. I'm probably at 2/3 right now, I would say. How long does it take to make a cappuccino? I'm curious. Good morning, Tony. So good to see you. 2 Tonys at the same time. Dual Tonys. But yeah, I want to go over some really important facts that AA Ron went over 6 months ago on his show, and it's a short one, really good, about how Scientology's crumbling, but some of the facts in it, like, are things that I believe are just the most important things to keep in mind, anti-Scientology wise, like to understand why this ain't gonna work for them, and why their days are numbered. And it's for sure. Okay, it's absolutely for certain. We just want to speed it the hell up. There are a bunch of factors, but to me, okay, as a born-in child auditor and someone who spent my entire life in that crap, the most telling problem that I would have if I was somehow in there that no one would be able to help me with, even a little bit, would be that Tom Cruise is not OT8. If they had a brain in their head, they would have given him an OT8 cert, truth revealed a long time ago. Here you go, Tom. And Miscavige should have given one to himself a long time ago. But the fact that the head of Scientology is not OT8, but he's in ethics, etc. And don't forget, command intention was what LRH said everyone had to follow, support, and just unilaterally everything must be to support that, whatever it is. Miscavige now took that over, okay? So, which is ridiculous. But he didn't finish it. Like at least LRH could say, "Hey, I'm OT 16 or whatever. You know, I'm going to release 0 through 15, and I'm the only one rocking the 16. You know what I mean? Or some kind of BS." We were all led to believe he was way up there, right? Wherever that is. But we all know Miscavige isn't, especially if he isn't even 8, right? Hi. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. It's cold out here.
It's nice. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Got my... Let me give you guys a look-see at my cappuccino. Oh, yeah. That's how we do. Okay. So yeah, I would have had a huge... Hello, Lisa. Elston, by the way, thank you so much for your support yesterday. I did not see it. I don't know how. That's why I always look back at these things. But thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. Sir Elston Gunn, multiple time made man around these parts. Thank you so much. And Lisa, good morning. So yeah, this is so important, okay? To me, everyone has a different opinion. To me, this is like, I don't care how you deflect and how you BS, you're not going to be able to, I would never be able to get around it, okay? Thank you, Tony. Hi, Jersey. So, seriously, like, how is it that Miscavige is not OT8? And how could he be responsible for command intention when he can't even finish OT8? There's nothing stopping him. He doesn't have to worry about any ethics actions, right? He ain't getting sec checked. You kidding me? Same thing with Cruz. Now, I think Cruz could say, I think some of the like busy, like Cruz has been absolutely busy his whole life, right? He hasn't like taken big chunks like 5 years off that I'm aware of. And so he could have the excuse of saying like, and of course this is BS, but he could say, hey, I'm on the set 18 hours a day. I don't have time to audit OT7, right? And if it takes 2 to 6 years to get done with it, how the hell am I supposed to find that block of time? This is for your eternal future. Like, what's more important, your eternal future and your ability to control matter, energy, space, and time, or Mission Impossible 14? Return of, Electric Boogaloo. What's more important? And every time, no matter how I think about it, it's been 10 or 20 years, since he finished OT. It was when AA Run said it was when War of the Worlds came out or something. So I don't know how the hell long ago, 20 years something. So how can you even act as if you're a dedicated Scientologist if you've been off lines for 20 years? Remember, you're the most dedicated Scientologist in the history of the world, Mr. Tom Cruise. He hasn't been, his only action is OT7. He could BS around and waste waste a month on the cause resurgence rundown if he wanted to, okay? I'm sure he's done his L's. If not, he could do that bullshit. But the point is, there's almost nothing to do. So, oh my God. So good. Yeah, so there's no excuse. Like, if you're the leader of this thing, you would be so much more powerful if you just finished OT8. In fact, F you, Miscavige. OT8 is called The Truth Revealed. You don't even know the truth. You're a total douche. You're worthless. Why would we care what you say? Why would we care? You know what I mean? You can't even get through OT8. There's no excuse. If you had these powers, thank you, Marcy. That's awesome. There's no excuse. If you got these powers and all this bullshit, nothing could keep you from finishing OT8. Nothing. You would be all over it. Oh. Cappuccino. Don't you know? So yeah, that's a real big problem. It's not just been a year or two, okay? It's been 20 years. 20 years. What? You got all the money in the world? Well, what? What's the problem? Jason Begay got from walking in the door to OT levels in 2 years, I think. Because he wasn't about BS. He just rolled through it. What, Tom Cruise? 20 years and you haven't started 7? It's because you know it's total nonsense. You can't get someone to do something that they know is 100% nonsense. You can't get them to do it. So what they should have done is just went ahead and BS the whole thing and given them certs. That was the dumbest move they ever made. They're willing to lie about anything, but they wouldn't do that. You could not keep Tom Cruise. You could not keep Miscavige from doing 7 and 8. You couldn't keep him from doing it. Okay? So, I mean, if that's not absolute intergalactic proof that it's 100% nonsense, I don't know what is. I mean, that's infallible proof. You know? Lisa, I never thought Miscavige was into Scientology. He's just a grifter. He's got a good life. Yeah. Yeah. This is so silly. It's so silly. I mean, I'm sure he believed at one point, you know what I mean? But how many times can they sell you the same thing? They sell it to you over and over and over and over again, right? Okay. Okay, the cause resurgence rundown. It's to rehab an individual's ability to generate their own energy. That's hysterical. You should never be tired again. You should be able to go 24/7, baby, and not even have an issue. Okay? You should be able to run a stationary bike that runs the electricity in your entire house while you're doing stuff. If they only promised half of what they promise, it would be totally unbelievable and ridiculous. But in the 50s, you could just, you can't be a little bit pregnant, just go all the way, baby, foot to the floor. Why not? But now this is hurting them, okay? Now, it's also to eliminate mental and spiritual factors that inhibit the ability to control one's own life. How many effing times have we done that already? Didn't we go clear already? You know? We went clear. What else did we do? Then we did our, and then the OT levels. You control matter, energy, space, and time, right? It's like, it's really crazy. How many times, you know, can you sell the same thing? And then mental and spiritual factors that inhibit the ability to control one's own life. What is it? The reactive mind? Your case? We've gotten through everything. What is there left that's destroying me? What? That I have to run around a pole. for a month. And you know what the funniest thing about the cause resurgence rundown is? You know, and this is, if it's true, I don't know. But Rinder and Remini were saying that it's just the running program that was the punishment for Sea Org members turned into a moneymaker. They just called that punishment the cause resurgence rundown. Holy shit. Punishment for staff marketed to public Scientologists. We're literally OT8. We control matter, energy, space, and time, but we need to do this to inhibit the spiritual factors that inhibit our ability to control our life. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Right? And this is the greatest thing of all. It also restores perception, particularly concerning the 57 various perceptions identified in Scientology beliefs, such as sense of direction, gravity, smell, and hearing. Sense of gravity. Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. I just want to read all this crap and see what college kids say. Like, I just want college kids to you know, forget communication. This is what they're promising. Now talk to someone who's done this and tell me if you think they got a perception of gravity. What are you talking about? Oh my God. They just keep selling you the same crap. And there's only 1,600 SO at Flag. At least 1/4 of them are too old to work anything but a reduced schedule. Okay? And they're only getting 2 people a month to join the EPF now. That's the Estate Project Force. It's the boot camp for Sea Org members. So only 1 out of those 2 gets through that. Or even if 2 get through, only 1 of those probably makes it to a year. And then good luck if that one makes it past that, you know, to 5 years. You have to be very... you can't be... Scientology is not for dummies. Believe me. I know that seems ironically crazy, right? Because it seems so stupid, like you have to be a dummy to be in it. What I'm saying is, if you're semi-literate, you know, like a van life person, you could never read any of those books and have any idea what they mean or say. You know, you'd have no idea. So you've already eliminated half of the kids finishing high school can't read. So good luck getting through Scientology. How many of those have the money to do it? My point is that the people available for this, it's just it's so small. And I believe that if it wasn't for their huge donors, I think they'd be done already. I really do. I think they'd be done. I think they'd be over. They're not, because here's the thing. I would get rid of, if I were them, I would get rid of the ideal orgs, okay? I believe that's their undoing. Because there's nothing you can do. Perception is everything, okay? What are you supposed to do when people find out? And I've been telling you this for a year and a half. What are you supposed to do when people find out it's not just their org that's empty? They're all empty. What are you going to do? That's a problem. You're being told this is the fastest growing religion on earth for 20 years now. And that everyone is shooting the moon. Well, the Denver org, one of our fam, Joel McCoyne, said last weekend there was only staff.
Little baby, don't you cry.
You can't ask for better than that. You can't ask for better than that. But that kills them. Okay? And it's the least religious looking place in the world anyway, and they all look like bookstores that just no one's in. They're going to have to shut those places down. People knowing that no one's in them is going to finish them. It's going to finish them. And to that extent, that's why everyone is compartmentalized at Flag, right? Where, you know, the crew lives here, and, you know, those who deliver the services live here, and, you know, and that's also why he had people studying at night and sleeping during the day, because he didn't want them to talk to the people who outside, who are outside of Flag, to tell them what's actually happening in Denver and Phoenix and right here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. There's nobody. There's nobody. How are you gonna run? Do you know Vegas has about 120 parking spots at Celebrity Center? There's anywhere from like 2 to 9 cars. Do you have any idea how ridiculous that looks? Any idea how ridiculous that looks? And anyone who walks in there will be the only one in there. You see how that is so damaging. It goes against every last thing you see and hear, you know, outside of there. And plus, you're eventually going to get in trouble, because they're going to say, they have to have a scapegoat. So they're going to say it's you and Terry's fault why Denver's failing. And you're like, huh? We're here 12 hours a day, man. No one shows up. We tried to sell a book yesterday. The guy punched me in the face. They're not going to care. They're going to say, you didn't make it go right. You know, you're out ethics, blah, 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 blah. Nobody can recruit anybody, you know. How come there's no Oregon Huntsville? Or Birmingham? Forget Huntsville. You could probably put one there. In Birmingham. It would be a epic failure. There would never be a single person to walk inside that place to do anything but chuck eggs or whatever. And it would probably be the police chief's mother. You know what I'm saying? They only go to places that are friendly enough to the idea of a wackadoo cult. If you can't do it in Denver, you're in trouble, man. Because like I say, you got no chance in El Paso. No chance. You know, Celebrity Center, Little Rock. Hey, baby. Good morning, Cheryl. James Steele's in the house. Buttercup. So good to see you. Oh my God, that's so good. Yeah, so I really believe that's another undoing. Those are ideal orgs, okay? The whole reason they weren't doing well before is because they didn't have the big place, right? And now you got this beautiful, you know. It didn't work. And it wasn't like give it a year. They've given it 20 years. There's nobody there on a weekend. If there's no one there on Sunday, man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, okay? It's to the point now. I think we've saturated the internet and everywhere with fact. You know, there's no more making up nonsense. Their narrative just isn't working anymore. They bought a TV station and still can't move the needle. Okay. There's really nothing left. There's nowhere to go. Okay. And I think they're in a big problem now, because keep in mind the money they get their money ahead of time. Okay, so they're going to get all the money they're going to get from me now for services that are going to take me 3 years to complete. Okay, 2 years to complete. So they're not going to get any more money from me. You see what I'm saying? Like, so without new people coming in, their stats are going to precipitously fall off. And if it wasn't for OT7, where you have to come back every 6 months, 2 flag, and stay there, get sec checked, and your wellness check, and every 6 months you got to come back. So the flight, staying there in the hotel, eating everything, and they're making a fortune, right? Every 6 months. So they got 700 to 900 people doing this. Okay, so that's a hell of a lot of money. If you're spending 10 grand a trip or 20 grand a trip, they're making a hell of a lot of money. And that's why he made it easier to get to OT7, so he could just keep you on that money reel for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So they've those people are going to, that number is going to come flying down. Okay, it's going to be the most elitist cult of all times. And with the money from their huge donors, that is the only thing that's going to keep the place afloat. But they're just not going to be delivering. They're not going to have the people to do it. And what protected Scientology so much, having their own language and all the culty things they do, is now working against them. And the fact that it takes 3 years to replace, a supervisor, someone raw to the time that they could actually be in the academy or working in the HGC, is going to be at least 3 years of Scientology, at least. So I mean, you just can't replace people as quickly as you need to. And then most of the people who even to get to that point also blow. They're done. They're gone. So you see what I'm saying? The math is crumbling. Like 1/3 or something of the people at PAC are 60 and up. I mean, it's like this whole thing is they got problems. Okay, more staff or Sea Org members are dying than they're actually recruiting. and believe it or not, I'd rather have a 90-year-old Sea Org member who'd been there 70 years than a 22-year-old that knows shit. What good is that person to me? It's going to take 3 years for you to have any value at all. Okay, besides cutting the grass. Okay. And it's going to take a long time before you can really wear a lot of hats. Like, you get someone who's been there 25 years, man, you could put them in a bunch of places, right? Bam. And they can also take over and train and bypass and handle and do all kinds of stuff. You're not going to get that from someone new, And if you look at those soft boys from Minnesota, right? You think they're going to put up with any crap? Hell no. They're about to go to the pool and lounge. They're not working another gig. So Scientology has a serious problem on their hands with personnel, and I keep saying this for a year and a half. You can get people to martyr, to save the world, but when you realize you're saving nobody, boy, that does a lot to your ability to hang in there when you know you're not saving anybody. You're like, why am I putting up with this? And now there are ways of getting out. And if you're in the Sea Org, you know all about the SPTV Foundation, and you know about the Aftermath Foundation. You know about it. You've heard of it. You know, you hear it. There's no way you don't hear things today that it's impossible. It's impossible. You're going to hear about it, you know, from a lot of times from protests, you know, but anyway, the only way FLAG works is if the rest of the planet is doing fantastic with Scientology. That's how FLAG works, okay? If the rest of the planet is, if it's empty, okay, like FLAG doesn't have to worry about anyone from Denver coming there soon. They don't have a single public on course. You know what? Are 2 or 3 people from Vegas going to go to FLAG in the next year? This is ridiculous. Okay. They need to shut those places down before word gets out. If you can show 7 of those places are empty, you know what I'm saying? That would murder the morale. Murder the morale. And it would prove they're being lied to. It would prove to the staff, to the Sea Org members, they're being lied to. Okay? That's not good for them. So it's really important that information is more important to conceal, okay, than the clear cognition for Miscavige. And as people find out just how ridiculous the promises of Scientology are, I think that also is one of their biggest problems. All we have to do is tell people what you're supposed to get. Who's going to, out of 100 people, who would believe any of these gains are remotely possible or that anyone on earth has them? And then when it's coupled with the fact that Scientology can't show you a single person with them, yeah, that's a pretty big pass, right? Rehab an individual's ability to generate their own energy. That's so funny. Oh, and by the way, it's so good because the Cause Resurgence Rundown, right? There's a whole floor at FLAG with a track and a pole with LED lights in the middle, and it's totally dark, and you just walk around this thing for 5 hours a day, and you do this for weeks and weeks and weeks until you have some amazing cognition that somehow rehabs your ability to generate your own energy. Eliminate mental and spiritual factors that inhibit the ability to control one's own life, which should have been long gone, by the way. How the hell do I still have any of that problem when I'm OT8 and clear and the hell, right? And restore, because you know, everything is to restore or rehabilitate, because we're all gods, okay? And we all had all of these abilities at one time. And what LRH is doing is rehabbing or restoring our own incredible innate godlike powers, okay? So restore perception, particularly concerning the 57 various perceptions identified in Scientology beliefs, such as a sense of direction, gravity, smell, and hearing. You're going to do this by walking around a track in the dark with a pole in the middle. Let's just start. Put in how long you'd be willing to do this before you absolutely gave up 100% on there being any chance of this occurring. And don't say 0, because we're all going to say 0. I'm saying, would you have to walk around the track 2 times, 3 times? Would you just start laughing so hard you couldn't even walk? Would you give it an hour? Like, at what point would you call absolute bullshit and just demand your money back and leave? I mean, you know, Do you see how ill you have to be mentally, how weak you have to be to even believe any of this is possible? That's the position they get us in, okay, by the time we get there. That's not something that happens when you first walk in the door, because yes, then you'd be correct. That would be, for lack of a nicer way to put it, that would be a pretty dumb person, right? You're so mind controlled. You've taken so many L's before you do the L's that you're in tune to this. Okay? You're in tune. It's just like, you know, it takes a long time to get there, but you can see they all get there, you know. Lisa, is the pole walking their version of meditation? Like I said, it used to be the running program, supposedly, which was punishment. So they took a punishment and repackaged it, which I gotta say is awesome. I gotta give mad props to the person who thought, you know, this would be a great idea. This punishment, we could actually get people to pay us. It's so bad, it's comedy. Oh. and then I mean, what kind of fake cognition do you have to have, right? As you're walking around the track, you know, 4 weeks in, right? Your hotel bill, your food bill, everything's $1 billion at this point. And that's why they're able to only sell it to you for $2,500, because they know it's going to cost you another 10 grand. So you're after 4 weeks, you're walking around the track. You go like, I gotta get out of here, man. You just go, boing, wow, and then run over to the examiner. Oh my God, I can totally make my own energy and do whatever, and you know, eat an apple and grab a fruit salad, and you know, I'm unstoppable. And then they go, great, your needle is floating, and you got a certificate saying you finished the jerk off rundown. Jesus Christ. In some ways, this is even worse than a testing to clear. In some ways, because you could just act like, okay, it ain't there anymore. Well, that's because you never knew it was there anyway, and you're just fooling yourself, and this is just silliness. But it's almost easier to BS your way into clear, I guess, to me, than to make yourself believe, you know, any of this crap happened by walking around the freaking track. I mean, oh, good God. Yeah. 1 second for James Steele. Elston Gunn, I'd try to do a couple laps. That's what I would do. I mean, because it's just too funny. I mean, why not? You know, let's walk around this damn thing for like, I might even give it, you know, an hour. Go batshit and just walk around that thing for an hour and be like, that is. And you're spending probably 12 grand to get this done. And like I said, you're already a master of matter, energy, space, and time. How am I not able to create my own energy? Again, what they promise murders them. So let people know what they promise, because then people don't have to ever think about it again. Like, one of those checkmate moves is, you know, you don't get sick. Kirstie Alley, Travolta's wife, you know, every one of them dies of cancer, and they're all OT8. Checkmate. Okay? you know, being around Scientology too all the time also affords you the opportunity to see how reactionary and how abusive and how absurd many very highly trained people act and react. Okay, and it's incredibly unimpressive. So that was another thing that always led me to believe, like, why are we even trying to get here if this is how you are when you get here? You know what I mean? But what they promise you're going to get out of it is those are always checkmates. How in the hell has Tom Cruise, the #1 most dedicated Scientologist on earth, not started OT7 in 20 years? How is that possible? I mean, a lot of people die on OT7, no joke. I've never heard it taken longer than 7 years from someone who didn't die or blow, okay? 20 years, well, it's 3 times as long. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no excuse, okay? The leader, the man responsible for command intention at this present time hasn't finished the bridge. If anyone else did that, it would be an ethics issue. If you weren't a very important Scientologist, it would be an ethics issue. What the hell are you doing? Okay? They would be completely unreasonable with you. You know, and isn't that what Tom Cruise says? You know, you're either here and you do it or you're not, you know. I wish I could take a vacation. I can't take a vacation, you know. I can't do it. Yeah, bullshit. 20 years since you've been on lines. What did he do? What course has he done? What has he completed in 20 years? But he's not finished. He's this close to the end and won't finish. He won't do the last, he's not going to do the step that everything you did up to that point was basically for. He's not going to do that level, the level that everything you did up to that point was basically for. Come on, man. That dog won't hunt. They really screwed up. They really screwed up. They should have given them both bogey certificates a long time ago, and letting people. It's going to be impossible soon enough, okay, for there to be anyone who doesn't know Scientology is bad news. It's just going to be impossible. The slightest query into Scientology is going to administer a death blow to Scientology. Okay, and I'm very excited to be a part of that. So, personnel, that's a huge, huge problem. I cannot even present to you how big of a problem it is. Now, the reason it's not killing them this very moment is even though their staff is, you know, their number of Sierra members is going down, they have less people to take care of, okay? And no new ones coming in like it used to be, right? I mean, I can't even imagine Flag back in 1993 or 90 or 88. Like, it must have just been on fire. But, you know, and I don't know what it is, but my spidey sense tells me there's something to them letting Pac Base go, because that is their jewel. There is no piece of property worth anywhere near that. Okay? I mean, that makes Flag look like a popcorn fart. That is the biggest piece of property you could possibly purchase in Hollywood. There is no piece of property even close to that. They could probably get damn near anything for that piece of property. I mean, the hospital would be raised in 10 minutes. I don't care who buys it. Boom, gone. But that piece of property is... there's nothing even remotely close to it in Hollywood. And how much more does Hollywood cost per square foot than Clearwater? Okay. But they let it go to shit. when I lived across the street, when I lived next door to AO, you know, on my porch, on my landing, whatever, stoop, you know, you look at the windows and they were always perfectly white, you know. They'd always be touching that shit up. There was never a scratch. Everything looked great. Everything looked great. You know, now it looks like some kind of, you know, Section 8 housing or something. You know? So I just don't believe, and they wouldn't have put up those wood trash cans, okay, 250 wood trash cans after the couple day loitering on Fountain, on the easement of Fountain Avenue. If at Flag, they would never would have done that. They would have put up bronze statues, you know, with wings or something every, you know, 10 feet. They wouldn't have put buckets of dirt. Okay. And you know, Flag has been robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's sucking everything from everywhere to keep its stat up. You can't keep doing that. Like I said, Denver has nothing more to give them. What's Denver going to give them? There's not one person on course. That's a problem. And how the hell do you explain that? And everyone knows what they sell book-wise, okay? And I would imagine in 1980, they sold as many books in a week as it takes 3 months to sell today. I mean, that's the difference I'm talking about. And what is it, shrunk by half in the last 20 years? But this is, again, it's real. This is a cult is a real hard fire to start, right? But fires are real easy to keep going. But this is running out of fuel, man. It is literally running out of fuel, you know. You know, so to me, these are incredibly important facts that we just don't keep in the conversation enough. Okay, if things are going well, why are they the lowest they've ever been? Why are there less people than ever? Okay, I used to go to the Shrine Auditorium several times a year, and it was packed, 6,800 people. Okay, I don't think 4 events could fill that up now. So, you know, they're in trouble. And I think they can keep the facade going because of these monster donors they got. You know, but as far as once this thing collapses, do you see, as it's doing, do you see how incredibly difficult it is to get it going again? So freaking hard. Okay, and it's like, it's not even worth the money. Like, they'll come up with a better scam. I mean, you know, it's not even worth the time and money. Like, how much money and how much time it'll take to get the thing working again in some other place in Kamchatka. For the money you're going to get back, it's horrible. Like, when they go to these places that make, you know, where the average person makes $10,000 a year, how the hell are you supposed to sell the bridge? It would take them 3 years to save up the money for a flight to Florida. It's ridiculous. You know, what is going on here? Yeah, Con, don't ask my mods that kind of thing. And hey, girl, don't ever explain yourself. We don't do that here. If you don't like how we do things, bail. Simple as that. You know, I back A Girl 100% regardless, and we don't explain ourselves and all that. I don't have to answer anything I don't want to answer, and I don't have to tell you why I don't want to answer. I don't have to do anything. Okay? But, you know, to bring something up like that, if something was ignored or deleted, assume there's a reason. Don't demand the reason. Okay? And yeah, we do try to keep stuff on target, but whatever a girl does, I support ridiculously. So yeah, if you have a question off topic, you know, boom. I'm looking at what's been said here. LSD gets a bad rap, but not Scientology. Nobody puts a girl in a corner. How long did it take Tori to get to 7? I don't know. No idea. Janet from Another Planet says, you would think some of them would question the OT levels when so many don't get what they're told they would. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. Like I said, you are so brainwashed by this time. You know, understand when you're talking to an OT7 completion that they've been making up the fact that there are spiritual critters on them that are drug addicted and attached to others in clusters. And they've been doing this for years and years. Do you see where that puts you? You're in big trouble by the time you finish that, okay? You know, you've already believed clear, you've believed all this crap, you know. And somehow you're supposed to believe you got these gains by walking around a track or by answering some stupid question or, you know. I'm sure I'm not the only ex-Scientologist that was wishing there was some kind of special thing that we were going to learn later that was very much unlike everything we had learned up to that point, because I didn't understand how we're going to get any of these awesome gains doing what we're doing, you know. What's up, Jake? We all create energy. Scientology happens to be negative, James. Oh, Lisa, Pete, I'm the ass who would think it was my fault it wasn't working. No, that's what we all do, because they tell you, you know, you're out ethics. If nothing else, you're out ethics. So either you have misunderstoods, but even that's all out ethics. So anytime you're not getting the gains, it's all you, baby. James, I want a certificate saying James has completed the jerk-off rundown. Oh, mind if the process raised up sexy underwear. Rennie, pole walking is not as fun as pole dancing. That's funny as hell. Cinderella. Oh, hi, Elston. I'm coming out there first or second week of January. No, I'm not going to see my baby for Christmas, which is horrible, but it's the way it goes. Believe me, she will not be anywhere more than a quarter inch away from me the entire time I'm in Florida. So I can't wait. But I got to get Roxy. She has to get tests on the 22nd to show that she's strong enough to get put under for some extractions on the 29th. And then I want her to be with me for like a week, you know what I'm saying, after that, before she goes to the pet hotel. But the good news is I'll get, you know, a room where Hopi and Roxy are together. And then I'll come out. Lori Marie, the cult is slowly dying, regardless of them winning in Clearwater. There will always be those that accept cult money, but the future of the cult is bleak. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What cheaper, Scientology or Football World Cup tickets? At least you could sell World Cup tickets. Can you imagine? This is like 10 years ago when Scientology was only incredibly unpopular. I put up, I don't know, probably $3,000-$4,000 worth of tapes and, you know, CDs and bullshit, volumes, books, and garbage. It's all garbage. And took a picture and put it up on Craigslist. And for 500, got no calls. Then I lowered it to 100, got no calls. And then I put free and got no calls. I threw it all in the trash. I felt so much better about that anyway. That's where it belongs. Rennie, I think that's why they are focusing on whales. Yeah, for sure. Those whales are a lifesaver, man, for them. Oh, Rennie. I want to go to Rennie's house so I can just smell how good it smells. Because she's always making cookies or bread and stuff. Buttercup. The cost to run Ideal Orgs has to be extremely high. You know, even though they have the money, I think, to easily afford everything, it's just, what do you do? The PR is deadly. You know, the fastest growing religion on earth has nobody in it. I mean, come on, how are you supposed to justify that? Lisa, they look like Christian Science reading rooms. Exactly. They really should have added that Roman candle course. Yeah, the IAS, I think, the IAS is really wonderful for them because they don't have to do anything for that money. You know, you give them $100,000 and they give you a thank you. You know, some stupid pin. Meritorious moron pin, you know. But it costs money to deliver Scientology. It's not free. It's expensive, you know. Yeah. Oh my God. PBG, good morning. Anyone think Eller is a monkey from outer space? BS and more BS. Okay, let me get back to it. Oh my God, I got so many wax chocolates. I got it. Yeah. Good morning, Kanani. David, how many religions are the fastest growing religion? Yeah, it seems like I've heard that before. That's so true. Lord Maria, we took in a stray kitty. Ooh, waiting for him to a rescue to be adopted. Oh, to get him to a rescue is so sweet. And then more of a dog person. Oh, that's so thank you for helping him out, Lori. Lisa, it will end up being a club for rich people. Totally. That's what's going to happen. It'll become the most elitist religion ever. You know, they'll be down to like 81 people, and they'll call them the first 81 or some kind of crap, and then it'll, you know, and they'll all just circle jerk each other into oblivion. And, you know, but they are in big trouble, believe it, okay? Big trouble. And so I think we should just enjoy, like I say, making it impossible to recruit by making sure people, when they, the name Scientology is synonymous with its abuses. They abuse kids, I can tell you that firsthand. They abuse the elderly and everyone in between, okay? And destroy families, which is, you know, almost gets me more pissed off than everything else. So, they're in big trouble, and it's going to be fun to watch. They're in big damn trouble. Okay, I think that does it. I think I covered everything. Doug 652, Dougie, what's up? Custom builds. Yes, custom builds, talking about the cult of Scientology. I grew up in it. I was born into it, and I was a child auditor, and it destroyed me and my family. So I protest it and also have fun, which of course I think is the hardest thing for those who don't like us to confront. So we always have some laughs while we make it really, really hard for them to get any kind of traction. PBG, stepping outside to do some gardening. Grab me some of your strawberries. All right. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. I think that was really important to get that out in the open and, you know, in the front of everything, because, like I said, Elston, you're the greatest, man. Damn, thank you, brother. Can we get a ton of hearts for Elston? I really believe, like I said, some of the checkmates where no one could have given me any answer would have worked is how it is that COB and Tom Cruise can't get through OT 7 and 8. Like, how is that possible? It makes no sense. There's no justification. Oh, thank you, Rennie. Thank you so much. Floating heart. Hi, Anthony. Floating heart. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Rennie. More floating hearts. So I really believe that is, the people at Flag are the ones that are most hurt by that information. Okay? I don't think someone in Kansas City is going to care as much. If you're at Flag, okay, the Mecca of Scientology, the standard, okay, and Tom Cruise and COB can't get through this, come on, man. There's just no way to ignore that. There just isn't. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no way that can be a fact. There's just no way that can be a fact, and that's okay, you know. 20 years he's been off lines. Come on. Ridiculous. So how important? It's not important to COB that he gets up the bridge. Why is it important for you? Load of crap. All right, everybody. I love you guys. Thanks so much. thank you so much for being here. Love you, James. All you guys are just the absolute best. And I really, really appreciate you guys. And Rennie, please have a wonderful, wonderful day. You are awesome. Thank you again for all your help, Elston, Sir Elston Gunn. And really appreciate you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow, if not later today. Until next time.